So today we are going to look into getting a new code for the radio. Unfortunately, this car, or when I bought it, didn't come with absolutely anything at all, just only with a V5. And the problem is that I had to remove the seats in order to do a deep clean of the car, and in order to remove the seats I had to disconnect the battery, because if I disconnected, this happens in many cars, that if you disconnect the seats, which contains airbags and pre-tensioning of the seat belts, if you disconnect them while the battery is still connected, it may cause errors on the dashboard, airbag errors and things like that. So the best thing to do is always to disconnect the battery, wait for a while, and then remove the seats. Of course, when you disconnect the battery, you will end up losing the code for the radio, and then when you reconnect the battery you have to enter the code again. Because I haven't got the code, I have to do it in a different way. Basically, I have to remove the radio, get the serial number, and then just go to a website online, pay for it, and then just get a code so that I can put back onto the radio. So first things first, we have to remove this trim surround. And the best thing to do is use a plastic spatula, like use one of these trim removal kits. The good thing is that they don't cause any damage to the trim pieces that you have around the car. You probably could use a flathead screwdriver with a little bit of isolating tape around it, but they sometimes can be a little bit too thick, and because it's very narrow it can cause damage on this soft material in here. Best thing to do is use one of these, or you can use the old-fashioned way of a knife. As long as the knife is rounded, because it's a bit thinner and a bit wider at the bottom, you can still put a little bit of isolating tape around it and still prise this open. Normally I'd start to do this from the bottom, because I think the two main clips are here in this area. So just do it like so, one side at a time, from bottom to top, just like that. Remove this like that. This is actually going to be replaced. I'm not sure if you can see in the image, there's quite some splatter marks in here, but this will be upgraded at another time. But here it is, the radio, it's on. I should have the keys with me. Yes, they are here. And then just use like a Phillips screwdriver to remove the radio. I probably could have used my electric screwdriver, but it's buried in the shed somewhere. Somehow there's only 3 screws in here, which I find it very strange. There's one screw missing in here, unless someone has fiddled with this in the past. I don't know, just to make sure you don't lose the screws. There you go. Now the serial number is here somewhere. There's a stick in here. There's a stick in here. Made in Portugal, my home country. But number serial number V. Hang on. There seems to be a number in here. 1404. hang on. Let's see if that's the code actually, because that probably explains why there's a bolt missing. Okay, so 1404. I think for this radius you have to put 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 digits. So you use 1, 2, 3, 4 digits, and just press the current number. So 1. For the second position 4, you press 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then for the third digit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 0, and 1, 2, 3, 4. What do I do next? Oh. Oh. It seems to be working. I must have pulled the aerial cable when I put this up.
Doing? Well, they are kind of
yes, it's working. That's unbelievable. I'm really chuffed with this. I don't have to pay £10 or £8 or £10 to get a new code. That's really brilliant. That's why there's 3 bolts in here. Someone must have had the same problem before or something like that and decided to just write the code on the side of the radio. Brilliant. Happy days. Okay, now we have to put this back into place, and don't forget that there's this white tip in here that slots on that hole over there, so just have to jiggle it in a way that there you go. I'll just put this back in. This definitely has seen some action actually before, so someone has done it, so I'm really happy with that. So I just don't have to spend money. Which is actually really good, because I actually thought, oh, maybe I just no, I don't have the code, but I will just get an erase or something like that. But to be honest, money is a bit tight these days, and we ought to make savings. No, I think it just clicks back into place, I think. A little bit of a... Oh, there's a couple of tabs in here, yeah. There you go.
Your thoughts on a new one?
My thoughts? Well, I'm really happy with that. That's really good news. Well, now let's look at another matter, and it is the matter of the key fob, which is not working at the moment. So I got to replace the battery on that one, and then we'll just go through that process as well. So the key doesn't work at all. The only way to unlock the car is really to do it manually. So here is the offending key that just simply the remote doesn't work. So it's time really to have a new replacement battery. So it's split in 2 parts in here. So you just pulled it out like that, like so. Here's the other bit of the key where the mobilizer is concentrated. I normally use for these keys just like one of these antibacterial wipes. Well, it doesn't have to be antibacterial, but then it's the fact that during the pandemic everyone has bought these into their households. So it's really very useful just to give them a quick wipe, because probably these keys haven't been opened in years. And the same this one here. Just give it a bit of a clean. All the nooks and crannies, because sometimes when they are in pockets and various other places, they do get very dusty indeed. Okay, cool. Now, just with the screwdriver, there are a couple of slots in place in here. There is one around here, so you're going to use it and open it. There you go. And that opens up the whole circuit. So this includes the buttons and all the systems, radio systems that send a signal to the car. Just give it a bit of a clean as well. All these bits get a lot of dust, although this is protected. You have these rubber seals that do protect it from any ingress of dust and water. They're not waterproof though. So that's it. This bit done. And just do a bit of a clean also in this area as well. This area gets very dirty where the key ring attaches to. Okay, and here is the battery. It's one of these typical watch batteries. Yeah, type number 2032. And I just got a set of these. I got them from Poundland. They costed just £1 really, and has several of them. So basically, if you have 2 key fobs, you can just list 2, and you can use on your bathroom scales and kitchen scales and whatnot, and alarm clocks, and you know, to have several uses. So I'm just going to use the 2032 here. And then just remember how the battery came out, with this side up. So just like that. There you go. And just close the case like that to make sure that's proper sealed. Just to give another wipe, because they get very dirty with time. Okay, and then just pop it back in like that. But with these keys, they are not immediately ready to work, because this key has been inactive for quite some time. The car basically stops recognizing it. If the battery is very weak and then you just take it off and replace it within 10 minutes, you don't have to do any reprogramming. However, if the battery goes completely flat and it goes a certain amount of time that you replace the battery, then the car, basically the car's immobilizer system, won't recognize the key anymore. So, because this is the case, you have to go back and replace the programming. So let's go and do it. So as you sit in the car, you just go and insert the key, and then you have to do this several times. So basically you insert the key and you go to the second position without actually starting the engine. You do this in 4 consecutive turns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The car will beep, and then you just press one of the buttons on the key fob itself. So let's go and do it. So it should be working. The car did beep. There you go, and it is working. There you go, it is working. That's how you do it. So just to do it again. So you just unlock the car. You just insert on the key ignition, 1, 2, 3, 4. The car will then beep. There will be a light flashing over there, and then you just press one of the buttons, and that will program the key fob back into the car, and then you just get out and just test it, and it will should work immediately. Now the same principle also is used for when you are doing two dead keys. You do on one of them, but then when you do the second key, make sure you open the car first on the remote with the first key that has the good battery. Don't do it with the one that has the bad battery on the door lock itself, because otherwise the alarm will sound. So if you have two keys with a dead battery, first do one of them, then you leave the car unlocked on the remote with the first key, and then you just do the reprogramming with the second key, and then it will be programmed to the car again. So that's it. That's one job done, and a cheap one actually, as a matter of fact. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.